Today, as we mark 70 years of the Freedom Charter, we will be exploring what equality in the eyes of the law really means.
We will be starting with two courts in Johannesburg that couldn't seem more different.
Welcome to our episode, The Court Divide. I am Bonolo Mokonoto.
And I am Anganathi Jack. Today, as we mark 70 years of the Freedom Charter,
we will be exploring what equality in the eyes of the law really means in this day and age.
Our journey starts with two courts in Johannesburg that couldn't seem more different, from neighborhoods to buildings to the people who come through their doors.
Join us as we uncover what these contrasts reveal about justice and fairness in South Africa today. What a week. You could have sworn we went to the literal opposites of the world.
Exactly. So I went to the Hillbrow Magistrate Court, and let me tell you something, it was the ghetto.
Oh my gosh. And I went to the Randburg Magistrate Court.
Both places are in Johannesburg, mind you, and yet the contrast between the two places couldn't be more clear. When I went to the Hillbrow Magistrate Court, I was hit by the crush of the busy streets, informal traders everywhere, people rushing about, and this overwhelming buzz all around.
Wow, totally feels different over at Randburg. I mean, I pulled up, found parking without breaking a sweat, and the whole neighborhood was calm, spacious. It felt like a breath of fresh air after a long, stressful week.
And inside, let me tell you something, it's the same story. Hillbrow's court feels cramped and worn down, like it's seen better days. You almost smell the history and the stain on the place.
Randburg's building? Bright, clean, with rooms big enough to breathe. It instantly made me think, this is how a court should feel.
It's wild, isn't it? We say the law treats everyone equally, yet the places and people feel worlds apart.
Kind of makes you wonder, can we really say all are equal under the law if the spaces and procedures aren't? When I was at the Randburg Magistrate Court, I noticed it's in a more suburban, well-planned and quieter neighborhood. The environment tends to be more orderly and accessible by car, with parking and less congestion.
Really? At the Hillbrow Magistrate Court, it's situated in a busy, densely populated inner city area known for its mixed-use urban landscape, which can feel really chaotic and overwhelming. It's often surrounded by busy streets, informal traders, as I had shared, and a high volume of foot traffic.
That's such a contrast already. The Randburg Court building is more modern, clean, spacious waiting rooms and maintained courtrooms created a more, professional and calm environment, which can really affect people's confidence in the legal process.
Let me tell you something, girl. It's giving you were living soft, because the Hillbrow Court building often shows signs of intense wear and tear.
I mean, that makes sense considering that the Hillbrow Court is older. I mean, it was created in the 1960s, while the Hillbrow Court was established in 1974.
Oh, wow. Because there was aging infrastructure, peeling paint, limited security facilities, cramped waiting areas, and outdated courtrooms. The facility sometimes struggles with maintenance, which I think reflects broader systemic neglect.
That's so true. How about the clients? Who did you see at Hillbrow?
Whew! The Hillbrow Court serves a diverse client base, including many vulnerable groups like migrant workers, low-income residents, and people with limited access to legal representation. I mean, I think if anything, the Hillbrow Court is a representation of its environment. It's truly servicing its people.
Really? At Randburg, clients include more middle-class individuals and businesses, with cases often related to civil matters, commercial disputes, or less emergency-driven social issues. Legal access might also feel, less constrained for many.
I noticed that at Hillbrow, court officers and lawyers might appear stretched thin. With fewer resources and higher caseloads, the demeanor can sometimes be hurried or brusque, reflecting pressure and systemic overload. Access to legal aid, though crucial, is often limited.
Randburg's court staff have relatively better resources and support, with more efficient case flow management. Lawyers there, they might be perceived as more formally presentable. They have better facilities for private consultations, contributing to, a better feeling of procedural fairness.
Wow, the process at Hillbrow courts could have longer waiting times, overloaded dockets, and procedural delays due to limited case management resources. The process might feel more intimidating to clients unfamiliar with legal procedures, like myself. I remember having to approach the receptionist for cases I could sit on and waiting for the lady to sift through several papers, some crooked and torn, to advise on which court case I could sit on or listen in on. Let me tell you something. It was an experience, Bonolo.
That's insane. At Randburg, there was a fewer or smoother process flow, more predictable scheduling, and better infrastructure for case management. This can really contribute to a better perception of a fairer, more accessible judicial process.
I mean, it really makes you wonder, how much do ordinary citizens actually understand about the courts and the justice system that they rely on? While doing research for this episode, we realized there's a lot we don't know about the judicial system.
So, we wanted to find out if other people know different aspects of it, or if they're just as clueless as we were. Let's go to the man on the street and see what they know about the South African judicial system.
Hi, my name is Flo and I'm doing my final year in accounting science.
So, Flo, do you think that you would ever be in the same court as a celebrity? If so, or not, why?
I don't think I'll ever be in the same court as a celebrity because I don't think I'll ever get arrested. I don't think there'll be a need for me to have to go to court, but you never know. If it happens, I also don't think we'll be at the same location because they usually have their own little space where they go as compared to the rest of the public, because that's how things in SA are.
My name is Blessing. I'm studying electrical engineering.
Do you think you'd be in the same sort of court as a celebrity? If so, why?
Yes, we must be in the same court because we did the same crime. Doesn't matter if you are a celebrity or something.
My name is Meja and I'm studying Bachelor of Accounting Science.
If you ever were to find yourself in a situation where you had to go to court, that should be in the same sort of court setting as your fave celebrity.
I highly doubt, because I think it's mostly based on the region that you live in. I think the celebrities will be in high profile areas. Probably those in Sandton will go to the Alexandra Magistrate Court and the Randburg Magistrate Court. And with where I stay, I'll go to maybe the Joburg District Court here.
What court handles serious crimes like robbery or murder?
I think the High Court handles serious crimes, and then we also have the small court claims. I don't know.
My name is Tabera Rachkombo and I'm studying biomedical engineering.
All right, so our question to you is, what type of courts do you think there are, and how do you think they allocate different cases to those courts?
Okay, so I'm not really sure about the type of courts that are there, but then I would think that maybe like courts are differentiated according to the court case, like if it's a third meta degree or it's just a simple, I don't know, stealing case. So I would think that maybe they are differentiated in that particular way.
So, which magistrate court is the closest?
I think we have one in Joburg, like Joburg CBD. I think we have one, and I also know about the one in Randburg. I think those are the only two that I know. Every time when there's something going on with celebrities, it's always the Randburg Magistrate Court. So that's why I know of the one in Randburg.
So it's safe to say court proceedings and the overall judicial system are not common knowledge among South Africans.
Right? I mean, it's not too shocking. It's not like we learned this stuff in school.
That is so true. So let's break it down, because it's quite a layered structure.
Absolutely. So at the top, we have the Constitutional Court in Johannesburg, which is the highest court responsible for constitutional matters only. Then comes the Supreme Court of Appeal in Bloemfontein, handling appeals from High Court on other issues.
Right. And below that are the high courts. There are a total of 15 high courts across the country, including the Gauteng High Court in Johannesburg and Pretoria. They have more authority and handle serious civil and criminal cases.
And then we have magistrate courts like Randburg and Hillbrow. They are the entry points for most cases. There are two main types of magistrate courts, one being regional magistrate courts and the other being district or ordinary magistrate courts.
The regional courts deal mostly with criminal cases, anything except treason. And they can impose jail sentences up to 20 years and fines up to 600,000 rand. Whereas district courts handle less serious criminal cases, no murder or rape cases, and have fines up to 120,000 rand.
They can also handle civil cases but with limits, like a civil dispute with no more than 200,000 can be heard in the district court.
So, for example, if someone's accused of theft or a contract dispute falls below that amount, their courts decide those cases.
In terms of criminal law, it's important to understand the different players: the complainants or prosecutors who bring the case, the accused or suspect, and sometimes the witnesses. The burden of proof in criminal cases is beyond reasonable doubt, which means the evidence has to be very convincing.
And that's different from civil cases, where the standard is the balance of probabilities. Basically, what's more likely to have happened.
Also, every accused person has the presumption of innocence and the right to remain silent during court proceedings until proven guilty.
Now, let's focus on our two courts, Randburg and Hillbrow. Both are magistrate courts but reflect huge differences in environment and resources. But don't just take it from us. Here is Lebogang Masemola, NW LLB graduate and a former researcher at Northwest University.
How court cases get allocated. Usually it's through jurisdiction, which a court has the legal authority to hear it. In certain instances, if a case is extremely complex for a magistrate court, it will be taken to the High Court. All cases are registered and get allocated case numbers to ensure that there are progresses in them. Court Online is a system where cases are usually registered. In South Africa, we have different types of courts. Constitutional Court, which is the highest court on all constitutional matters. Matters are referred to it from the Supreme Court of Appeal, and certain constitutional matters are reserved for exclusive jurisdiction of this court. It is seated in Johannesburg and matters are heard by at least 8 judges. Magistrate courts. There are a number of specialized courts located at the level of magistrate courts. They deal with certain types of matters. There are children's courts, commercial crime courts, and sexual offences court. Every magistrate court in South Africa is a children's court. For example, maintenance court is not a specified court per se. The court is actually located at each magistrate court. Equality courts, for example, are also extended magistrate courts to bring access of justice to vulnerable clients. Small claims court are established for a magistral district. The court hears civil matters that arose in magistral district claims in which small claims court is situated. There is no magistrate or judge in small claims court. Furthermore, magistrate courts are the district courts and the regional courts. The district courts hear limited types of civil cases. They cannot deal with matters such as divorce, arguments about a personal will, and matters where it is asked if a person is mentally sane or not.
Which raises an important point. Even though legally these courts operate under the same law and procedures, the experiences of the people passing through them can be dramatically different. Like the experiences of myself and Bonolo, which reminds me of the Alex and Santon divide.
And that difference shapes perceptions of whether justice really feels equal or accessible to all. So, are we all equal before the law?
After everything we saw and heard, the question feels even more complex, right, Bonolo?
Definitely.
Having gone to the different courts in Johannesburg, Randburg and Hillbrow, and seeing the differences in their environments and resources, it was very striking.
And when we asked the man on the street, many were uncertain about how the judicial system works or what their rights really are. It showed us how distant the law can feel for ordinary South Africans.
The Freedom Charter, which we're marking 70 years of, states that all shall be equal before the law. It's an ideal that South Africa has long aspired to, one of fairness, dignity, and justice for all.
But as we've seen, the reality in courts often tells a different story. Physical surroundings, available resources, and procedural efficiency vary so much that people's experiences of justice do too.
So, we want to ask you, yes you, our listeners, what changes do you think are essential for real equality in our courts? Is it better facilities, more legal aid, faster case processing, or something else?
But we still have a long way to go to achieve true equality in this country. But the vision of the Freedom Charter reminds us that that change is possible.
Thank you so much for joining us today. We hope you enjoyed and learned a lot.
We'd love to hear your thoughts on this episode. Do share your experiences that you've had in the courts or tell us what changes you think are needed.
Follow us on social media at Vuvuzela on all platforms to keep the conversation going, and don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an episode.
Until next time, keep questioning, keep learning, and keep believing in justice for all.
You've been listening to The Court Divide, an episode of the We Should Be Writing podcast. This podcast is a product of the Honours in Journalism and Media Studies program at the Wits Centre for Journalism in Johannesburg. Our producers, editor and show hosts were Bonolo Mokonoto and Anganathi Jack. Our theme music was composed by Stoic, and our graphic design was by Ekta Seabram and Anganathi Jack. Additional episode music credits and info are available in our show notes. On our social media, we are at Vuvuzela, and you can see more of our work on vitsvuvuzela.com.